Are you ready for your window shoppers to become paying customers? Ecwid e-commerce is here to make that happen. We can help you automatically show the exact product visitors saw but didn't purchase on your site wherever they go on Facebook and Instagram using this magic called dynamic Facebook retargeting. To show these ads to your prospects today, sign up in your Ecwid control panel in the marketing section and look for the Facebook remarketing app. This is fully integrated into Ecwid and Facebook and so simple and effective you'll wonder why you hadn't done this sooner. To help you decide, if you sign up now and spend $50 by February 15th, you'll receive a free $100 advertising credit from our friends at Facebook. Okay, back to the show.
This is the Ecwid e-commerce show with your host, Jesse Ness, along with Richard O'Tay.
Hey guys, Jesse Ness here with the Ecwid podcast show. Back again with my co-host,
Richard O'Tay. How you doing, Jess?
I'm good. It's a beautiful day here in San Diego. And super excited today. We actually have another local San Diegan or Rancho Bernardian, Joe Kuelker, here to talk about his site, Heroic Kid. Joe, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys.
Absolutely.
This is a new experience for me. Thanks for having me and talking in about this this thing I call heroickid.com.
Awesome. Well, I'm a new podcaster myself, so we will take it easy on you. Richard's here to guide us along. But you know what? I wanted to let the audience know I chose this site because I thought it was an awesome story, and I thought it really helped highlight what we do at Ecwid, and so I wanted to hear your story. So give us a little background into heroickid.com.
So heroickid.com, I just kind of look at it this way. It's just a website I put together to put smiles on type 1 diabetic kids' faces. I think what we're most known for is creating these tiny replicas of medical devices that these kids have to wear to stay alive. Mm-hmm. Why did I create this? Well, it's because my son is a type 1 diabetic. In 2014, at the age of 1, he had symptoms of diabetes. One symptom of constantly being thirsty and frequent urination. He was also very agitated and weight loss. So we took him into the hospital, quick and easy check, and sure enough, he had type 1 diabetes.
Wow. Yeah, that's tough at 1 year old to find that out. Now, for you to find that out and have that be a part of your son's life. What's your son's name?
Remy.
Remy. Okay.
Yes.
So from, for other parents that might be listening, so what are some of the symptoms, so like you mentioned, so frequent urination. So, you're changing diapers like every half an hour.
Yeah, he had like super heavy diapers and nonstop, unquenchable thirst. He would go through these super large tumblers like an adult. This is like, This kid, I don't know how he's holding all this water.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you realize he's not holding all the water.
He's not. Yeah, it's coming out in this a diaper that weighs as much as a brick. So we knew something was wrong, and unfortunately it was type 1 diabetes.
Yep.
So what was it that inspired you to come up with these? As you're saying, they're replica patches, so they're obviously not using these patches themselves.
No.
And you showed us a couple packages here. I'm sure we'll direct people to your site to see what they actually look like. But so this is really to help the kids feel more comfortable with these devices on their body.
It is. Last year, my son would be 4. He's just starting to get to an age where he's kind of, understand that he has to wear these important devices, and his preschool friends don't. And I noticed that he's kind of questioning that, and he doesn't like it. It's kind of normal for him because he was diagnosed so young, but he's getting to the age where he understands that he's wearing these devices. One being an insulin pump, the other being a CGM. The CGM is continuous glucose monitor. So around that same time, I'm a product development engineer. I purchased a 3D printer for a different project. But one of the first things I did, because he was questioning why. There's no easy answer for that. You can go online. You can kind of show him pictures of other diabetics even though it affects millions of people going outside, and you just don't see random people wearing, insulin pump. Mm-hmm. And at its preschool, like no kids have it. And if you were to go maybe to the beach, you might see maybe see someone that has like one of these devices. So I just wanted to create something that he can see almost on a daily basis. So one of the first things I created was an insulin pod that kind of matches his, that would just pin on like one of his stuffed animals. Mm-hmm. And the look in his eyes when I gave it to him was just, it wasn't like a cheerful happiness. It was more of like a look of, oh, this is awesome. Thank you so much. A deep look of content, and it was very, very sweet moment.
Awesome.
Yeah, I feel for you, Joe. I mean, Jesse and I both have young children, and I just, the word that comes to my mouth is just wow. Like in the midst of all this going on, in all that you have to deal with as a parent and not knowing how to explain to your child, kudos to you to not only try to find a way, but actually turn this into a business that, we'll get into more, what you're going to try to do with the business and where you're going to grow the business, but just to even turn that into something else that can be helping other families that are going through this. It's to me, that's really the American dream. People talk about American dream in various ways, but to me, you can help children and make a business that might even be able to help more it's a beautiful thing. So just kudos to you for having the wherewithal to go through this while you're going through this.
Yeah, thank you very much. My goal was to I just wanted to get it out there for other parents. That was basically my goal. I created this small thing for my child. He's happy with it, and I know there's other kids out there too. So that was. I'm not looking for the American dream, and it all sounds great. It's just really just to get something out there, maybe to help other parents, and it's for parents too, because we don't want to see our kids in this situation. We deal with this on a daily basis. We see what our kids go through. To the normal person, they will see him maybe at school or out and about every few hours. He looks like a normal kid. You don't see the battles that are going on behind the scenes. There's usually 1 or 2 episodes daily. Even, oftentimes in the middle of the night, 2 a.m, you're up. You have to give the kid a box of juice. So it's a battle, and it's just, for me, it's just, I want to, just bring a little bit of fun into this really difficult disease that we're kind of forced to deal with.
Absolutely. So it's just a way to, help your son feel normal, really. Like, all of his heroes, all of these, characters, I guess. So, for people, we're on a podcast, so we're not looking at the website.
Right.
But, tell us an example of one of the first products you made for him.
So the first product, he wears an insulin pod. It's just called the Omnipod. So that was the first thing I created. It's very simple. I've worked on some very complex engineering projects for me, so it didn't take very long for me to do it at all. And I have a 3D printer, like I said before, and I just printed it out, and I pinned it on one of his, like a Build-A-Bear, I think it was the first thing I created on. But it is removable. It has a pin on back, so it's been on many stuffed animals. Mm-hmm. And if you guys have seen those 6-foot-tall bears at Costco, he has one of those, and that's where it resides now. And it's pretty durable too. He wrestles with that thing, and like insanely crazy because he's a wild man.
Sure.
And it has survived. So I'm very happy with the product.
Well, at what point did you decide I'm going to make this into a store and get this in for other parents?
I think it was when I saw the look in his eyes, like, this is...
You knew right away?
Yeah, I knew at that point that I should at least offer this. I didn't know if anyone would buy it, but I wanted to at least have that opportunity for people to buy this product. So that's how the store came about.
Yeah, so instead of like saying... instead of waiting for this like to pass word of mouth, like, hey, let's start building these and let's get this out there so all these other parents that have, I mean, I imagine there's a lot of type 1 diabetes children in the country right now.
There is.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, I'm all about getting the product out. I have a good product. It can be a perfect product, but I don't know how long the perfect product will take. And I can make the perfect product if there's more interest in this. For the perfect product would take a lot of money.
Sure.
The hard tool and have the injection plastic tool made to make a perfect product. And with the perfect product, it's easier to assemble. There's a lot of labor for me to put these together, and I'm okay with that.
Sure.
Because again, it's for the kids kind of thing. Where was I going? I lost track.
No, this is good. And just so you know, when I brought up the American dream, I don't mean, hey, I'm going to make a bunch of money off parents that have kids with insulin problems.
Yeah.
What I really mean is the fact that you can build something and make money that whatever you decide to do with it, whether it's buy a house for your family or put it back into, I have a feeling based on a couple of things we were talking about before, you have some bigger vision that you have with this money. So we're going to get into that too. But really, it's okay to make money helping other people, right? And it's okay.
Thank you for saying
that. And especially when you're helping all kinds of, I mean, how are these parents, what are they going to get to see that look in their kid's eye too?
Yeah.
This is a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
You're a hero, Joe.
Thank you.
Keep it up. This is good stuff. And so when you were doing it, of all the other things to do, so you're an engineer, you're a father dealing with all this, a husband, you're going to build a store, you got to tool out this stuff. If we tried to make it perfect, it probably never would have gotten out there. So all of a sudden now you're an e-commerce guy too. How was building the store? What was that process like?
Well, the store was probably one of the easier things out of the whole process, and that's really what I wanted, and that's kind of how I came across Ecwid. Did I say the name correctly?
You did, yeah.
I've never said it out loud.
Yeah, that's a good one. I'm glad. It's a good reason to have a podcast. So Ecwid, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So how did you find Ecwid?
I think the same way everyone probably does, Google search.
Yeah.
And I just did some research, and I know there's a few out there. Mm-hmm. And I saw the many positive reviews for Ecwid. And I went in and I just kind of browsed around the website. And I also noticed that we're neighbors. You have some offices in San Diego. So I just did it. I mean, that's what it comes down to. I just decided to go with it, and I did it. And it was very, very simple. Probably the easiest part of the whole process.
Good. Way easier than using a 3D printer then.
Yeah. 3D printer, yeah.
I mean, I've never used one, so.
Right. It takes some learning, but yeah, definitely easier than the 3D printer for sure, yes.
Yeah. So this was a way for you to kind of essentially get the product out there, test the concept.
Yeah.
And seem like, kind of fast and easy way to do it.
Yes, I didn't know. I'm sure there was some parents that would have some interest in it, but I didn't know how many. So I didn't want to spend a whole bunch of money and have a website built.
Yeah.
And these are cheap components. I'm keeping the prices cheap, so I'm not making tons of money off these things.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to have to. I can do WordPress, but I didn't want to have to spend all the time and effort to create a WordPress. I wanted to get it out there as soon as possible. And that's a big thing for me. I'm all about getting something out there and seeing if it works. And there's always time to do the perfect. So
it sounds like you're a fan of Reid Hoffman. I heard him say after he left PayPal and did LinkedIn, he said, if you're not embarrassed by your first release, you waited too long.
I've not heard that quote, but I like it.
Getting feedback from customers, basically.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it is. It's getting feedback. I mean, some of the stuff like this piece, you can't see it. It's a podcast. It's a mini tiny replica tube. It's called a tube pump, insulin pump. That was not something I had on my website originally. I only had 4 things on my website. Mm-hmm. But someone, they had a child that had used this particular style pump, and I said, okay, I'll make it, sure.
Yeah.
And I put it on the website.
So that means at least one person had come to the website.
Yes. So on the socials around Christmas time, these what were called the buttons. There's different sizes. If you go to the website, you can see like there's different sizes for different kind of toys. We have one called the buttons. They you sew them on just like a button onto like little stuffed animals. They just happen to be a perfect size for the elf on the shelf.
Oh, okay.
So people were putting these on the elf on the shelf, and they were posting pictures online. And before you know it, I'm filling orders at like 3 a.m. for like a month straight.
Yeah,
which is
there went your Christmas.
Yeah,
but I'm sure making you smile along the way.
Yeah, I mean, every order I ship out, I know it's going to someone just like me and my kid. So it's a good feeling.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, and I mean, as I've been in e-commerce a long time, Christmas is the time where you make your money, really, and these are 4 toys. So, prepare for this year.
Yeah,
I think is the answer. Yeah.
I created a company just about 2 months before Christmas, so I didn't know what to expect. I mean, so this year I'll have a better understanding, what to expect.
Let's back up. So this was you created this September, October of last year?
I think September-ish. I'm not even sure, to be honest with you.
Okay,
so
awesome.
From conceent, wow, man,
that's how you do it.
Yeah, we just do it. Yeah,
there's no reason to wait, and there's no reason to you just do it.
Yeah,
and that's kind of how I do everything, even with mechanical design engineering.
Yep.
You just do it, get it out there.
So from start to finish, I think where Jesse was going with that, or at least partially going with that, you started in September-ish, October, and you obviously were completed because you got orders for Christmas within a couple months and up and running. Like, how long did it actually take you to get the store done? How long till you got your first order, and how long before you're like, wow, there's more interest than I thought? Kind of a threefold question there.
The store was fast, and I think I got a first sale around, like the beginning of November. But soon after that, it was like a domino effect. As soon as other people that have a bigger following than me on social media post pictures of these products on their children's toys, with the smiling kid, naturally that kind of brings more people to the site. And
I can imagine. This is it would be a viral toy.
Yes,
It's in certain communities. There's probably Facebook groups and of different parents and things that this would probably go crazy.
There's Facebook groups. There's a big type 1 diabetes following, or like a lot of people on Instagram. Mm-hmm. So
I mean, you could almost. I so love this, by the way. Some of these ideas I throw out real quick, they could be shots in the dark, but I came from Hollywood, so you only need one to stick out of 20, and it pays for the next 40. So, but I mean, you could come up with your own toy like Patch. And his name's Patch, and you have a patch on patch, and now you got your own brand. And like, there's this whole thing that you got where, since you're trying to help so many of their children, you could have such a viral sharing because you're not even trying. This isn't what you're trying to make money, I'm hearing, out of this. I mean, of course, you'd want to grow a business.
You have to feed the business.
And of course, you want to do like this is kind of what I meant when I brought up the American dream earlier.
Yes.
But I'm hearing you're keeping your engineering job for the foreseeable future here still, right? This is something you're doing on the side, but I could hear in your voice, man, if this could grow into something that you get to help other families, like I'm seeing the light in your eye, like your son might see, like because I feel what you've gone through, and I can see the smile on your face, but I can tell what you've gone through, and I'm super. Like I'm sitting here thinking of how many ways I could help as we're interviewing.
I'll take it.
And so I'm just thinking out. The virality potential of this is crazy because people will want to share this, right? It's not like you have to ask for a share.
Right. I'm using the business to feed it, so any money I make usually, pretty much gets rolled back into the business.
Yeah.
So you were talking about SKUs, and other people have told you about bringing on another product. You started another. What do you got? What's going on in this?
Yeah, there's a for people that are not here in the studio, which is everybody listening. there's a mystery box that Jill brought here.
Yeah.
So let us know.
It's actually the box. Does it look familiar? It's funny.
It actually
donut box.
It looks like cake or donut box.
It is
yes.
a cake or donut box.
Right.
But here's the thing. That's part of it. Type 1 diabetes is not caused by sugar. And there's a misconception that sugar, diabetics can't eat sugar, but they can. So this happens to be in a donut box. But in the box is some things that I put together. This is the concept that I think we're going to start giving these away in a couple weeks. Just has a few items in there that I want to give to newly diagnosed type 1 diabetics. It has one of our hats in it. It has a letter, which I think is one of the most important things, which will have like a personal letter from me, or I'm thinking about reaching out and having other parents write like a personal letter to give to a newly diagnosed family. It also has a cookie cutter, one of our cookie cutters, which is an insulin bottle, because again, this is like a good tool maybe to use for a new family, because you when the kid gets diagnosed or you're newly diagnosed, people think that you can't eat sugar. You can. This is kind of a good way, and a kind of a fun way for the kids, and to kind of teach people that, hey, it's okay if you eat cookies. Here, have a cookie that's shaped like a insulin bottle. Mm-hmm. So it's just a little bit fun. And also, we have a glucagon kit. This accepts like an emerging. This is something I actually created for my kid for preschool. It's a clip that accepts a glucagon, which is used in emergency situations when the kid has low blood sugar. Just like a syringe type of. It is a syringe. It's a syringe, yeah, and you would use it when the kid is very low, almost to the point of passing out, and you would break out this kit and immediately.
So when this happens, the alarms from the glucose monitors are buzzing.
Yes,
like
if they
it's
have
saying,
one. If they have one, not all kids have them, but yes, most kids do have them.
Got it.
And super. Usually, you can give them a juice box, but there's times where they can pass out, and then you can't give them a juice box and pass out. You can't get an M&M in their mouth, so you have to use this kit. And this kit was just this glucagon kit was made just to put this to ease my mind for one, ease other caregivers' mind too, because it just puts it in the same spot every time. Like where this is. You can mount it on the wall. I have a binder at school that it's in. It's always in the same spot. The thing with diabetes, you have so much stuff, and the stuff is always going. You're always going through it, and it can get tossed into a spot where you can't find it. And I can tell you from experience as a T1D dad, type 1 diabetic dad, when the kid's low and you need to give him some kind of sugar like right away. A juice box is like something you would grab typically. Just getting that straw out of that little cellophane, those 3 seconds seem like minutes, because you're struggling, you could be shaking. So any time saved trying to get to this like emergency kit, that was the goal for the kit, or for the clip. So
perfect.
So this is something I'm going to start giving out to a newly diagnosed.
So this isn't even a SKU. This is something that you're going to be giving to people.
This is something that's going to be fed by the company, the store. This is something that I'm going to do to give back.
So
that's
all
awesome.
the more reason we want to help drive traffic to you, basically. So how are you going to find out? Or is this going to be part of people sharing partially?
I'm just going to drop them off at the hospital. Okay. And then because when you get diagnosed, you're there for 3 days. We were there for 3 days. It's you got to take like a crash course, and it's really a tough time. So that's kind of why I want to do something like this. Just
only to make sure, because we only have 3 minutes or so, just to make sure we drive traffic. Where can we find you? Like, let's spell it out. Let's get a couple of the social shares. Like, what do you got? What's your URL?
It's heroickid.com, and it will bring you to my Ecwid site. And then at the bottom, because they make it so easy, there's actually links that go to all my social pages.
So that's HEROICKID.com.
Yes, sir.
Yep. And we'll make sure to have the links to that on the show notes and on the page. So, we want to help support it. So, I'm actually looking forward to seeing some of the social posts so we can talk about this on Ecwid.com as well. And part of the reason we wanted to have you on, obviously we love the story, but the other reason I wanted to have you on is because you actually use the starter site.
Yes.
So, I want other merchants, that other people that are building their dream to know, like, it doesn't have to be like this. You don't have to hire a consultant. You don't have to have like web design and development knowledge. Like, so
even if you are an engineer, and you got like
you're an engineer that can work a 3D
a little bit,
yeah. But like, I want this to be an example for other merchants that just get started. Just make it happen. And talk a little bit about this starter site. Like, were you able to figure it out? You set up an account. Were you able to figure it out pretty quickly?
Yeah, it went pretty quickly. I think I had 4 items like from the beginning. I guess the toughest part about it all is like I think the top banner requires a certain size photo, so that's not my forte. Is graphics and all that stuff. So that wasn't tough at all.
Yeah. I do see so the header you have right now is the Incredible Hulk with a patch on it, and a Wonder Woman.
Pump. Yep.
Yeah. So very cool. I mean, little iPhone, but you got that done. So
yeah. All the photos have been taken with iPhone. So there's a lot of improvement for me to do on the website.
There's always something you can do.
There is.
Yeah, I mean, there's a million different things, and love to talk to you about some ideas that we have. Maybe we can do that again at another date. But
sure.
Any questions that you have for us on like, hey, what can you do next? Is there
anything you've been wanting to do or wondering what you could do
with the website?
Yeah.
Is there a way to recommend other products when they click on a certain product? I guess that's one thing I've seen another.
Absolutely. So, yeah, that might be a cross-sell or an upsell. So I will actually provide you some link for that, and we'll include that in the show notes. And actually, we're going to be talking to somebody else on another podcast very soon that's going to talk about cross-sells and upsells. So
I'll have to listen.
Yeah, absolutely. So, perfect. Rich, any last thoughts?
No, I'm just super proud and thankful there's other dads out there that are just as cool as you are. Like this,
I'm sure you guys would do it too.
Yeah,
that's what it comes down to.
I hope so. Joe, thank you. HeroicKid.com. Looking to see more from that. This is Jesse with the Ecwid Podcast Show here with Richard Otey. Please subscribe and come back for more.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Take care.
Well, Rich, there's another great show.
And when you add it all together with the other shows, you won't miss any strategies or new tactics on how to grow your online business.
So to make sure you don't miss anything, subscribe on your favorite podcast player. Rich, what player do you like?
Probably Stitcher.
All right.
How about you?
I'm an Apple podcast guy. I'm an Apple guy on that.
Yeah.
And we're growing right now. A listener asked us to add Google Play as a platform. So we just added that a couple weeks ago. We have Spotify, SoundCloud.
Nice. We're everywhere.
So subscribe on your favorite platform, and don't forget to rate and review us.
So we know what you think.
Yeah, rate how we're doing, review on what we have done, tell us topics you'd like us to cover, tell us if you think we're great and you are going to take over the world.
Subscribe, rate, and review.
It's the only way we'll know, and it keeps the shows coming. Thanks, everybody.